Hi folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to work on a pretty little necklace using our kit Halloween Hustle from SoftFlex Company. So let's turn down and I'll show you what we're going to do here. So what I've got here is about a 12-inch piece of 18-gauge German-style wire. We're not going to need that much. I just cut that much because I wanted to make sure that I had plenty. I also have all kinds of little chains here. There are two with, well, take it back. There's 4 with 11 links and 2 with 13 links, and then there's a big 20-inch piece here, which will be for going around the back. These others are for making the dangles. We're going to have dangles hanging from our bar here, and those dangles are going to be the skull, one of the spacers here, and the melon. Then we're going to have the eye, one of the spacers, and one of the howlite pieces. Or magnesite. I'm not sure which it is, but I'm sort of pushing on them in case you didn't notice, and that's why I'm doing that is to oopsie, now that one just fell right off. So that's not going to work, and so is that. I need to get a spacer so these won't fall off. Okay, I've got this little spacer here, so there is what this one looks like. Now I'm going to check these to make sure. They might, so I'm going to put one of these spacers on the bottom of each of these so I don't have to worry about them falling off. Falling off would be bad. So now the skeleton is going to go on the one with the 13 links, and the other 2 are going to go on the 11 link chains. But they don't have to go on right away, so I'm not going to worry about them just yet. But we are going to get these folded over so we don't lose them, and I think we'll just make up the other ones as well. 1, 2, 3. And truthfully, I think I may have had some of these spacers up on the top too, but I didn't put them there, so I'm not going to worry about them right now. Let's just get these other 3 spacers out we need for the other side here. And we'll get these made up. Looks like this bead is damaged. So I'm going to get another one out to replace it, because there are some extras of that kind. Okay, this one looks to be all right. So put the package back away here. So on with you. Okay, now what we're going to do here is we're going to, excuse my sniffles. Let's put these aside for right now. Take one of these black ones, put them on either end. Then it'll be the green. Then the skull. One on either side. The bone is going to go in the middle with our bicone and then our purple. Now each of them are going to have one of these little guys in between. So the first thing we want to do is get a loop on this side. So I'm going to give us quite a bit of wire because we don't need but a little there. So we're going to bend this over, and then we're going to get our bell making plier. And I'm going to use my small one, but I'm going to use the bigger loop here because we're going to put all these chains on here and we need some space to put them. So let's bring it around, bring her over. Now we're going to switch hands so that I can wrap easier. And I'm going to, well, we're not going to wrap yet. We're going to put chains on. So we'll open up that for a gap, and then we're going to put chains on here. We're going to put the long one on. Actually, we should put the long one on last because we're going to have these little guys dangling down. So they should be on the side where it's going to dangle down here. So let's get two of the 11s and one of the 13s. Looks like that's them. So we'll go 11, 13, 11, and then our long one. Now that we've got all those chains in here, we want to take hold of our wire and we're going to wrap it up. I need to go blow my nose. Let's tighten this up here, and we'll do, I think, 3 wraps, maybe 4. We gotta keep it tight. It's loosening up, so let's push her in. And there we go. That looks like 4. So we'll cut this off and tuck it. Okie dokie. Next step. Okay, so I've already put on this black bead. I wanted to see if it would fit all right. And it does, but it has some little chips on the edges, so I'm using these conforming bead caps to snug it up so that it protects it some more and keeps it from chipping anymore, and then hides the little chips that are already there. And next is this green bead right here. Over you go, baby. So then we need one of these little guys again. Now the next thing is the skulls. And the skulls have big holes. So I'm going to take a little bit of rubber tubing to put in the skulls. Now you can also use seed beads instead of rubber tubing, and sometimes the seed beads, since you can get varying sizes, is better because, well, it's varying sizes. So we're going to cut this right where it comes out of his head here, and then we'll put him with his rubber tubing on next. And actually, see, the rubber tubing will fall out, so just take it out and just put it. Slide her down. Now we'll put our little guy on here. And like I say, it's not going to keep it from sliding around entirely because the rubber tubing is not the same size as his head. It's a little smaller. So, it is what it is. We'll put this purple guy on. Ding. Then our bicone. Come on, baby. And now the bone. Now we need the next little bit of rubber tubing for the other skull. I don't think I got that all the way. Nope, but close enough. So now I'll put this away because I use this a lot. I don't want to lose it. Now our rubber tubing will go on. And then our skull over the top of it. Now, the question has to be, is this longer than I want it? Because it looks a little longer than I do want it. So, come on, chain. It is longer than I want it. So, because the black ones are the most, I don't think I'm going to take the black ones off. So, come on, baby, all the way through. So let's take the black ones off, set them aside. And I may want something smaller here instead. So let's see what I have left. I think we will, there are 2 black rondelles in here, which of course are much smaller than these, but it will bring that black in. So we will put these black back into the bin here. Oop, you go back over there. And I think I'll put these bead caps on these. If I have, yep, I do have 4. Okay. I think those will fit on there, and we'll put those on there to add a little dimension. So let's try this. Sometimes you just have to make some changes. Oop. I'm sort of thinking those bead caps put too much silver down here. So let's take those back off. We'll leave the bead caps off. Even though they're pretty, they are too much silver all at once like that. So. There's plenty of silver with all of the bits and pieces at the end here. So now we're just going to restring it the way we had it, except for this time we are not going to have those big oval teardrop. What are they called? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah, I think I like this length better. Definitely like this length better. So now what we want to do is we want to wrap this other side up, just like we did this side, and put the chains on before we're done finishing wrapping it. So we'll bend it over, get out our bell making plier, use the bigger side, up and around and over, drop her, bring her over here, leaving that gap. So there we go. Now we need to put on our chains. So we want the small, the the longer one, the small one again, and then this side of our large one. And we'll push these up and around onto our loop here. 1, 2, 3, and then our long one. Okay, now that those are all in place, we'll hold our loop right here and wind this baby up. Now we'll cut off the extra. And tuck this wire in as much as we can. And if we can't get it to tuck all the way in, we'll of course have to trim it some more. Okay, what's in the way? Okay, so here is our, get out of the way, you guys. Now here's how it's going to look, though of course our skulls need to turn down. And we are going to leave that bow in it, like that's in it right now. In fact, we may even want to add a little more bow to it. So like that. We'll split this in half in a bit so we can put the hardware into it. But right now we're just going to take and go to our next step, which is wrapping up our little pieces over here and putting them on the dangly chain. Well, actually, let's split this. I think I'm going to try and get it about the middle, which should be somewhere in here, which, if it's not perfect as far as the lengths are concerned, that's fine, because we're going to put the lobster claw on one side and a jump ring on the other side, and it's going to be about the same after we're done with everything. So now that we've got that done, we can either put that lobster claw on or we can work on these. So what we're going to do with these is we're going to put the skull on the longest of our 3 chains here, and these other 2 on the other sides. So we're going to take our bell making plier, and now we're going to go back to the stepped one and use the small one, because we do not need this to be really big. It just needs to go onto the chain. So we're just gonna, like we would normally, decide which one's the longest, which is this one, and then we're gonna feed this guy on. Now, because these will twist, I don't have to worry about front and back, because I will just twist it back to the way I want it after we have it on here. So let's get these guys going. There they are. And we will just wrap this baby up onto this chain. Now, if you want, you can use jump rings. You don't have to put it directly on the chain. I prefer to, because it's much more secure. It's definitely not going to come off. It's pretty well wrapped onto there. So and like I say, if it is backwards when you hold it up, these will go around in a circle. We can just turn it to where it needs to be. So there is our first skull on. Now we'll put one of these two, and then we'll put the other one on this side, and then we'll go and do the same on the other side. So here is this. Over and around, bring her down, leave a gap so we can put it in the chain, which I just did not leave a gap. I don't think anyway. Well, let's see what we got here. Grab a chain, any chain. There we go. Whoop, dropped it. It's not good. We don't want to drop them. Okay, number 2 is done. Now we just got to get number 3 on this side, and we'll go to the other side. So okay, we'll get this guy in and wrapped up, and this side will be done. So because this is leaning down, I'm going to push this wire up so that when it comes across for that first time, it's not trying to go way down where I don't want it at. Okay, now we'll trim her off. And tuck it in. Come on, you. Tuck. Okay. So that side is now done. And we need to do the same thing to the other side. So again, we'll want the skull on the long one and the other two on the shorter ones. So let's get our skull. And we'll get him wrapping up. Go around, leave that gap so we can put our chain through easily. We go. Now we'll grab hold of it and wrap. Trim the excess. Tuck it in. One down, two to go. So now, like I say, these two will go on the shorter, and as soon as we got these two done, then all we have to do is put on our lobster claw and our jump ring. So let's just grab one of the chains and slide this baby on. There we go. And then hold it. Push this up and wrap. Trim the excess. Tuck it in. Two down. Last one. So in we go. Up and over. Bring her down. Bring her around. Leave a gap. Straighten her some. And then we got to find that last chain. There it is, right here. Feed her on. Grab her where they come together. Push this wire up some and wrap. Cut off the excess. And tuck it in. Come on, you tuck. There we go. And done. So there's what she looks like. We have to put on our lobster claw and our jump ring now, and she'll be done. So let's sort of see if we can figure out which chain is longer. The one that's longer will just get the oval jump ring, and the one that's shorter will get the lobster claw. So let's measure our chains. This one is at 9.5. And this one is at 9.5. Boy, I did pretty good at getting them cut. So I guess it doesn't matter. We can just grab whichever thing we want to put on first. So we'll just grab the jump ring, the big one, and we'll put it on the one side. I'll close it back up. Okay. Now we'll grab this small jump ring and open it up. And put on the lobster claw. Now always test your lobster claw before you put it on. I have already done so. Make sure my oval jump ring is closed all the way there. Because sometimes when you push down and let go, it doesn't go back into place. Sometimes it gets stuck up in there. And if it doesn't just really come loose really quickly, you don't want to use it, because if you were to have it open like that and your customer or yourself didn't even notice that it was open, and you wore it with it open, you could lose your necklace. So there is our necklace. Now if you wanted to, it's not going to let me. I've got it too tight here. I was going to say you could bend this up just a little bit more. You don't want to do it too much because you could break something, because it tightens up more as you put the bow in it. But I think it turned out really cute. So there is our necklace. And we can put these extra things away. And isn't it cute? So there we go. There is our necklace using our SoftFlex Company's Design Challenge Kit Halloween Hustle. Now, here I'm going to put it on, and then I'll back up so you can see it on. Well, if I can get the jump ring hooked. There we go. Okay. And get it out of my hair. So there is what it looks like on. Isn't it cute? Definitely a nice Halloween necklace. Now I think the lobster claw can probably fit in any of the links on this, so if a person wanted it shorter, they could wear it shorter. But I think it's really turned out really cute, and I hope you enjoyed making it with me. Yeah, it'll go in any spot in the chain, so you can shorten it if you want. So there is what it looks like, all done. Just go all turn around here. Whoop. So yeah, there we go. There is our necklace using the SoftFlex Company's Design Challenge Kit Halloween Hustle. And this has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and I hope you enjoyed making this with me. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.